Oh, that was warm. Hello, this is Tonight. I'm Bruce Whitfield. I'm at Sobert Man. Now this is Lilani, by the way. She's the one with the brush, and she's going to be foaming me up, and I'm going to try not to get any soap in my mouth. Sobert Man is an offshoot of Ian Fuhr's Sobert Empire. 117 places where you can get your nails done. Apparently that's called a manicure. You get your feet done, that's a pedicure. But this is Sobert Man. And it's part of my producers desperately trying to turn me into some kind of metrosexual. Good luck with that, producers. Ian Fuhr, nice to see you.
Hi, Bruce.
This is the first of a Sobert Man concept.
Yes, indeed it is. It's an exciting new development. We have found that men's grooming has become quite an international trend. And we decided that the timing was right to try and, this whole new concept. And hopefully it's the next big thing to come.
I mean, what's the response? Because you've got 117 experiences of Sobert as the concept where women go to do their bits and pieces.
It's been fantastic, Bruce. It really has. It's beyond our expectations. And we are already planning the next stores in the first few months, so it's been great. Thank you.
We are in Sandton City. This is the epicenter of men who like to look after themselves, I suspect. Is it as busy as an ordinary Sobert store?
I think it's going to be a little bit busier because of the passing traffic in the center like Sandton City. So we can't expect that to always be the case. But we have become generally a destination type business, so we don't always necessarily need the passing traffic. Because the brand is now quite well established, people will come to us rather than us hoping that they'll walk past and come in.
I mean, you've written a book about your experience in business. What are you doing? What are you doing? I've seen Sweeney Todd, the demon barber of Fleet Street, in which Johnny Depp plays a real character, a guy who used to sit in Fleet Street in London, which was the epicenter of media, of course, in those days. That's right. And people would go in for a shave just like this, and then slit their throats. And I've never, and I've never had to do an interview with a knife to my throat before. So for once, I'm going to be on my best behavior, and you get to talk more than I do.
No, it's good.
But this is a culmination of 4 decades of business, from labor relations to supermarkets and all of that sort of thing. This seems to have been, while she threatens to cut my throat, probably the fastest growth business you've ever done?
Yes, in particular the last 2 years, Bruce. In the first 7 years of the Sobert history, we opened about 56 stores, and in the last 2 we've opened 61 stores. So it's been a tremendous growth. I think we sort of hit a tipping point at the beginning of 2013, and the demand for franchising has been spectacular. We get about 25 to 30 franchise applications per week at the moment.
I mean, at the risk of being insulting and having you give the nod, which gets my jugular cut, you're not the typical guy to open a beauty shop. You're a very nice man. But when I first met you, which was about 2 years ago, you were much hairier. You've been quite groomed yourself.
Yes, I think at the beginning when I was thinking about going into the beauty industry, I tried to see if I could reconcile my face and the beauty industry, and that wasn't a very successful attempt. But at the end of the day, it's about business really, and it's about trying to build a brand and to create a service that people love and want.
Because you came across the idea when you went for a massage one day.
Correct.
You tell the story in your book, and the person giving you the massage says, "You understand business. The trouble with the beauty industry is it's got lots of people really good technically, but they struggle to run the businesses of beauty salons."
Correct. The beauty industry was very, very fragmented in those days. In fact, it still is to a large degree, and there were no branded chains. So the large majority of these individually owned beauty salons were run by beauty therapists who had become businesswomen, as opposed to business people that were getting into the beauty industry. And I think that was perhaps the reason why there were no really large branded chains of any note at the time.
I mean, are most of your franchisees women?
Yes, indeed they are. About 95% of them are women. And interestingly, they are also all previous guests of ours. We call our clients guests. So it means that they've been into the stores, they've experienced the service and the brand, and they loved it so much that they decided to become franchisees.
I mean, so much of the beauty industry is a deeply intimate experience, like that. You take your life into your hands sometimes, but it's also about products you carry. I think you carry Dermalogica, you carry your own brand of products as well, because women are quite fussy about this sort of stuff.
Yes, we are in fact quite strong on retail, And that's been a bit of a challenge in terms of the traditional way that beauty salons were run. It was predominantly treatments, and then the retail was a bit of a byproduct on the side. And right from the outset, we tried to differentiate ourselves so that retail would become the bigger portion of turnover than treatments. And that's pretty much what has happened. It's slightly more than half of our business at the moment is retail products.
But it's turning the business model on its head, and it's getting people to come in to buy the products, have the treatments as well. You're employing how many hundred people now?
It's over 1,000 people at
What?
the moment.
Sorry
Yes,
about that.
indeed.
I don't mean to move suddenly.
Yeah,
don't move suddenly.
Bruce, no sudden movement, please.
I was surprised. More than 1,000 people.
More than 1,000 people.
How do you incentivize people in the beauty industry?
Carefully. What you have to do is in the old days when we started, it was pretty much a basic salary plus a commission, a small commission. And then we changed that around once again to try and differentiate ourselves. And we just worked on commission only with a guaranteed minimum and with a much higher rate. And that has been perhaps the single biggest thing that turned our business around. Because the first 4 or 5 years were quite difficult. We call them the dark days. It was pretty quiet. You know, sometimes I would go, or I'd call a store and say, how are you doing there today? And they'd say, it's been very, very quiet in the morning, and then it tapers off in the afternoon. so it was hard. And
did you come close to shutting down?
Indeed, we did, because the first 4 or 5 years, we couldn't get enough credibility to sell any franchises.
And people thought you were an ice cream shop.
Indeed, they did. And that was the hard part is, you know, if you want to build a franchise brand, you have to build sufficient credibility in the brand to get people to start thinking seriously about opening stores under your name. And that was hard.
You made your name in the supermarket business in downtown Johannesburg. You caused a lot of trouble in those days with the establishment because not only did you allow black and white people to shop together, but you encouraged it. You also promoted black managers within your organization, and that led you to running almost like a business transformation business in the 90s as South Africa was changing. How's that helped in terms of structuring this business of Sobert today?
I think it has helped a lot because understanding that whole aspect of the management of people and understanding the socio-political environment in which you're working has been a major asset. When we started out here, this particular business was predominantly staffed by white people because it was seen as an upmarket beauty business with high-end products, and that the perception was that white women would only want white therapists. And that's what I found. In fact, the first promotion I went to at a skincare launch when we started in 2005, I discovered that there were all white people there. And I asked the management, I said, you know, where are all the blacks? You know, was there a taxi strike or what happened? And they said, no, it's all white because these upmarket salons prefer white staff. And that was, I think there and then I decided that needs to change. And today, 95% of our staff are black.
I mean, is there a Herman Mashaba JV opportunity here? Is there a Black Like Me version of Sobert in the future?
Hopefully, yes. We do have an ethnic salon that we've just launched called Candy & Co., which is also quite exciting. Also a pilot store like this, and our second store of that brand will be opening in February. So there's another opportunity that we think has got a lot of legs.
Is there a township presence? I mean, one looks at the shopping malls that have sprouted, for example, Jabulani and Maponya Mall and Soweto. They're two potential sites for that kind of concept.
I think this year we'll start looking at those things. We might need to just modify the brand slightly.
I feel like Chester missing. I'm being muzzled. You're going to have to do the talking.
Yeah, okay, I'll do the talking. We are looking at modifying our brand slightly to attract a different market. Some of our products are quite expensive at the moment, so we're trying to look at our own Sobert range of products, which has been established and formulated by the Clicks Group, with whom we have a very good relationship. And I think we'll be able to develop a new format of the Sobert brand, which will appeal more to the middle and lower end market.
Is this model exportable? I mean, one would think that it would be.
It definitely is. Our first port of call will be London. We're planning to open our first international store in London.
I mean, you'll talk to Kevin Hedderwick, no doubt, the guy from Famous Brands, about just how tough that market is, because they've got Wimpy there and they've struggled, and they've got, I think, only one Steers outfit so far. Yeah. It's very hard to talk when somebody is doing nice things to your face. She's very good at this, by the way.
Yes, she's wonderful.
Is he a decent boss, Lilani?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
She had to think a little bit about that, but I'll forgive her.
She paused for a moment.
A telling pause.
But there is a long tradition of barbershops and there's a long tradition of beauty salons in the United Kingdom. I mean, is there not a formalized structure
Correct.
there?
In fact, it was quite interesting for me. I asked the founders of Dermalogica, the original founders, when they were out here in South Africa, which country would she go to if she was trying to take Sobert somewhere else? And she said the UK, and I was quite surprised by that. And I said, why? She said, you'd be amazed how similar the beauty industry is in the UK to here. Also very, very fragmented.
I don't know what she's picking up,
Focus,
but it looks
Bruce.
terrifying. No.
Focus.
I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see, but she looks like she's got something more scary in her hand than she had previously. Sorry, carry on. I am listening. I'm
No
still frightened.
No problem. So she said that the industry in the UK was as fragmented as it was in South Africa when we started. And although you would expect that there'd be some really strong, branded chains, and there aren't any, quite frankly. And we've been there twice and we've looked, and I've been astonished by the mediocrity, quite frankly, of the average beauty salon in the UK. So we feel there is an opportunity there and we're going to try our best. And no one's going to say that it's easy, but we will certainly try our best.
What is she doing?
We're grooming you here at Sobert Man. This is a real main groom here, yeah?
You're sticking something up my nose. That looks revolting.
That's a nose
Okay,
wax.
that's a nose wax. Are you mad? Yes, okay, she's mad. So, Ian Fuhr, I mean, this is a family business. Some of your kids are in the business as well. Oh, that's warm. Oh, this is weird. Oh man, this is undignified. But okay, let's do that. Keep it there. You sound like a dentist. Do you ever list this business? How do you exit the business elegantly? Because if you're going global, you're going to need capital. You're going to need to develop that. Do you list the business at some point?
We don't have that on the cards at the moment, I must say. We're still in the building phase. But I do think that it's possible that we might enter into some sort of partnership, perhaps with another like-minded business who wants to buy into a minority share with us. That type of thing might happen. But in the short term, I can't see a listing on the cards now.
You are enjoying this far too much. And I think
okay.
what I want to do is, before this thing,
Oh, you can relax.
you can relax. This has been Tonight. I'm Bruce Whitfield. I think this is better off camera than on camera. Thanks so much for watching. Ian Fuhr, nice to see you.
Nice to
Sheesh, you vicious individual. I can breathe. It's not so bad, actually. Oh, the tears are running down his face, not mine. I'm tougher than that. We're at Sobert Man in Sandton City. I am being groomed. I'm not too sure what for. The only grooming I've heard is deeply suspicious. Ian Fuhr, congratulations. Good luck with Sobert Man. Whew.
And thank you very much, Bruce. Once again, it's been great fun on your show.
Well, one of you had fun at least. Anyway, Ian Fuhr is the founder of Sobert. It is a chain, 117 beauty salons, primarily aimed at women. You can go get your nails and your feet done. Apparently, they're very accommodating that way. And then we've got Sobert Man as well. If you're not satisfied with your treatment, you don't have to pay. And also, if you can squeeze out a tear, which you don't actually need to do, I'm sure they'll give you a discount as well. Thanks for watching. If we survive, there'll be more Tonight tomorrow. Bye-bye.